doing the pre-lift live. It's going to be a recovery workout after this. I'm still pretty ripped up from Sunday's training in a good way. But also, too, there's practice today, 5 p.m. in Connecticut. If anyone is in the area, 5 p.m., shoot me a message. I got the Facebook in the description or the Instagram in the description. If you got my number, just shoot me a text. But yeah, it's going to be a good one. I'm not sure who's going to show up today, but it should be good. What's up, Josh? Long time. It's been a long time. But thanks for hopping on. We might need your moderator skills today, but we will see as the time goes by. But I don't know if you saw, Josh. I got a secret stone spy over in where are they? Switzerland, Sweden, at the East versus West. I got some video from one of my secret stone spies. This is video of Devin and Hermes pulling. That's uploaded. There's also a video of Devin and Olag pulling. That should be uploaded pretty soon. They're just shorts, but they're, like 2 or 3 minute long shorts. But it's good. Josh got the little hammer emojis, cracking the hammer. All right. So, let's see, how do you say that name? Gresh. He's a fan of Dragon Ball. All right. Let's see. JP says, hello, bro. Where are you from? I'm from the good old United States of America. How about yourself? I tell you what, I don't think I've seen these names before. If you guys like arm wrestling, you picked the right spot. Harry says, what's up? With 3 Z's and about 19 U's. I'll tell you what's up. We're doing a little pre-lift live. And it's going to be good. Doing a little pre-lift live before we do a recovery lift. Arm wrestling practice tonight, 5 p.m. I'll probably start early if anyone's around, wants to start early. JP says, let's play a game. Well, the only game I'm really interested in playing right now is arm wrestling. So if you got an arm wrestling game, let me know. So Mad says, Mark Henry? Not personally. I don't personally know him, but I know Mark Henry, the world's strongest man. I think he still has the biggest 5 lift total, which is squat, bench, deadlift, power clean, and the overhead snatch. If I'm not mistaken, I think he still got it. All right, JP. He says, just think of any number, 1 to 10. All right, I'll try. But what do you got for arm wrestling questions? Nope. Josh says, chat, let's keep the questions about arm wrestling or powerlifting. Thank you very much, Josh. I need all the friendly reminders I can get. I get easily sidetracked. But now that we're back on arm wrestling and powerlifting, what do you guys think of the East versus West? Did you guys enjoy it. Things you liked, maybe things you'd like to see improvements in, maybe any certain areas you like to see improvements. I still haven't watched all the matches. I gotta go back and watch them. Laurel says, Nic Stone, good morning. What's up, Laurel? Good morning. Josh says, forgot it was on. Yeah, I actually got, I was busy training, so I forgot it was on too. I was busy training, but I did watch some of it. But I know I said this before. I don't know about you guys, but I think maybe I'm biased, but I think I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I'm sure there is definitely lots of good, but like I think like athletes and fans should wait a little bit before they start telling the scores and stuff like that, the outcomes of the matches. Um, because I think, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, maybe it's just me, but I think that would definitely would bring more people to watch it. Because you got people that missed it, and then they hear the score, and then they're probably less likely to go back and watch it if they know the outcome. Um, Not all the matches. I'm sure there's some matches that people are going to go back and watch for, no matter what. So Mad says, which muscle is primarily responsible for wrist supination during an arm wrestling match? Question mark. See, that's a tricky question because there's so many muscles that do supination. I mean, even the bicep does supination, but that's not, that's probably not one of the main ones. There's also supinators on your thumb. You know what I mean? So like this is like, say, supinating is going this way. There's muscles that bring your pinky this way, as well as muscles that bring your thumb supinated this way. So there's supinators on both sides of the forearm. So that's a tricky question. I would say, it's a unit. It's all the muscles together to make a unit. You know, but I guess there's supinators on the pinky side, and there's supinators on the thumb side. So I guess if you had to break it up, those are the two biggest supinators units. Hopefully that answers your question. So Laurel says, "Did you have a good day yesterday?" I did have a good day yesterday. What was I keep on I'm like a I keep on thinking that I'm a day behind because I usually arm wrestle on Saturday, but I arm wrestled on Sunday. But it was a good day. We had some clients, did some training. Um, they made some gains. I made some recovery gains. We did some recovery workouts. I put the recovery workouts up on the channel if you guys want to see it. There's also my heavy lifting. If you guys want to see my heavy lifting and my medium heavy lifting, all my stuff that's pretty much not recovery is going to be under the membership channel on STONEtv. So if you guys want to see how I train, you're gonna have to become a member. And also too, the first ever Dungeon Super Series is on there. Only one place to watch it, and that is the memberships on STONEtv. So Womble says Bigfoot for president. Maybe. He's gonna have to wear a suit or something. You might not like it. Last time you talked to Bigfoot, last time I talked to him, he says he doesn't like wearing suits. Laurel says, "Yo, nice tat, Nick." Oh, I appreciate that. You must be talking about the hand tattoo, the old bones. But I appreciate that. Um, so JP says, "By the way, I also like arm wrestling." Then he says, "Do you like?" I do like arm wrestling. I do quite a bit of arm wrestling. I try to do 2 to 3 times arm wrestle a week. You know, and if you don't know, this is an arm wrestling channel. We talk about arm wrestling stuff. So if we got arm wrestling questions or even topics, arm wrestling topics you guys want to talk about, yeah, let me know. Okay, Ellen, what's up? She says, "Hi, dear friends. I recommend the membership here over and out. Have a good day, everyone." All right, thanks very much, Carolyn, for stopping by when you can. I know she's busy at work right now. Most people are probably busy at work, but I do appreciate you spending the time to hang out. So JP says, are you arm wrestler?" I am an arm wrestler. I'm pretty decent, you know, uh, depending on who you ask, you know. But yeah, man, JP, if you're looking for an arm wrestling team, there's teams all over the country. I don't know where you're from, but there's a good chance I might, if you need help finding a team, I might be able to find you a team. You know, I know a good amount of arm wrestlers all over the country. Um, so Laurel says, "LOL, I like Bigfoot." Yeah, he's a nice guy. He gets a bad rap, you know. All right. Any translators? Any translators out there? That looks like Spanish. I know some of those words, but not enough to read them. So Blue says, "Back here again, and you still ain't lifting." Well, Blue, remember we talked about yesterday? I think I made the mistake. I don't think I did big caps, but I'm pretty sure there's that special little word called pre. But I do appreciate the motivation. You know, don't worry, it's gonna be a recovery workout. I know you like to see the heavy stuff, Blue. I know you like to see the heavy stuff, but Blue, you're gonna have to become a member if you want to see all the hard training, because that's a exclusive perk that only the members of STONEtv get to see. So let's see. JP says, "I am from this country." Was that India? Looks like India. Guess which it is. I think India. Looks like an Indian flag. It's hard to say with the little emojis, but I don't know too many arm wrestlers in India. I don't have, but I know there is a big community in India. If that's if that's where you're from. Blue says, "Yo, what's going on?" Question mark. We're doing the pre-lift live. You know, we're gonna do some talking, and then we're gonna do some lifting. So Laurel says, "I like your workout videos." Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys watching. Also, too, I'm open to you know other ideas. Like if you guys are members, let me know what you guys want to see, um, or even maybe some ideas for some regular videos too. But I'm open to ideas if there's any good ideas you guys got. JP says correct, and then he says, "You are from USA." Correct, I am. Blue says, "I don't see your pre whatever. I just want to see you put in some work. I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully I catch you during the movement. Oh, I appreciate that. But I tell you what, Blue, I know I said it before. I'll say it again. If you want to see the real work, the real hard stuff, brutal training, you're going to have to become a member. But I appreciate the comment, taking time out of your busy days and hanging out. I appreciate that. Oh, Josh says Blue. That's because it's a pre-lift live with a little emoji with the hands up. We're working on it, Josh. We'll get them. We'll get the. We'll teach them. We'll teach them that word eventually. All right, Laura says, well, it was nice seeing you this morning, Nick. Have a good day. All right, thank you very much, Laurel. Thanks for watching. And maybe we'll see you tonight because we're going to put tonight's practice for the members only videos. It's going to be about 2.5 hours of practice that the members will be able to see. The recovery workout is going to be on the regular YouTube. I don't even know what that is. Soul. I don't even know what that is. So I'm not going to read it because I don't know what it is. All right. Thank you very much, Lord. She says, I'll stop by. She says, bye, camera guy. Definitely stop by if you got time because it's going to be good. Soul says it's a ridiculous rap dance. All right. Well, if you're just hopping on, I got it's about 20K for me for me to do anything music, and it's about another 20K for me to do anything dancing. So we're at about rap dance. That's 40K, and this is USD. American money. But I'll tell you what, 40K, you'll get your rap dance. But speaking of rap dance, let's bring it back to arm wrestling because I think most people are here because they want to talk about arm wrestling stuff. Let's see. That's funny. So Josh says, Nick, quotations got them moves like Jagger, quotations, LOL. That's funny. But let's see. We got our first guy in timeout. I tried to warn you guys at the beginning of this live. Josh is just waiting to drop the hammer. The hammer drops right on that timeout button. So be very careful, guys. And if you're wondering how long 86,000 seconds is, it's 1 day. Oh, second. I didn't even see the first one. Oh, actually, no, I think I saw part of it. It was like something about a hoodie. I was reading some of it. I got to like the hoodie and then, but second. So, man, Josh is fast today. The first one was so fast, it didn't even, calculate in the brain. It was so fast. But if they're watching, the people in timeout, it's okay. It happens. It happens to the best of us. Next time you come back after those 86,000 seconds, just, maybe keep the, more arm wrestling questions, powerlifting questions, even gym stuff. Gym questions or any kind of topics, fitness or strength or anything like that. All right. Srin says, "Oi, bub." Some reason that sounds like a Jewish guy picking a fight. You know what I mean? Like, hey, oi, bub. That's what that sounds like to me. Translated, hey, bud. Very true. Some places, if you call someone bub, that's like a pretty big insult. Some places. And then Shrin says, IMK. All right, cool. That'll make it easier. YouTube must have changed the names again or something. Or maybe I. But welcome back, Kay. Long time no see. If you got some arm wrestling questions, let me know. We're talking about arm wrestling stuff, a whole bunch of good stuff. Today's recovery lift, I'm gonna put on. After this, I'm gonna get it set up. We're gonna do the recovery lift. I really don't have a plan with it right now. It's, very basic plan. I'm going to do some pronation, some wrist flexion, some full body pretty much kind of thing. I might do some mobility work too, kind of thing. So Kay says, I want to beat Levon in 1 month. How's that possible? I don't know, man. I would say train very hard. Train very hard for 3 weeks and then rest for 1. And try that. See how that goes. But you might have a better chance at beating him in a foot race than you do in an arm wrestling match in 1 month. Josh says divine intervention. Yeah, that's probably the better strategy. Kay says, oh yeah, we'll do meditation and get God power to beat Levon. Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to beat him. Kay says, train for 24 hours a day without sleep for 1 month. What was that, like a little mosquito, a crying mosquito or something? A little crying bug or something? But then he says, to beat Levon, you're going to need to sleep a little bit, You're going to need to sleep a little bit just to recover, because after a couple days, you might be going a little delirious from the lack of sleep. Well, maybe that'll help you in the match. Josh says that may work out in his favor. ... Yeah, definitely gonna need to sleep a little bit. But should be good. Uh-oh. Josh is locked on to a new guy. Be careful. Be careful, new guy. You're in the scopes of the moderator. The quickest, meanest, most ruthless moderator to ever exist. So be careful, guys. So let's see. Parsh says, hi guys, what's up, man? Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with us. But let's see, what else can we talk about? Arm wrestling stuff, powerlifting stuff. Bar says, how are you? I'm doing good. Hope you're doing good too. We're sitting in the car, drinking some pre-workout, talking with some of our friends. And then we're going to do a recovery lift. That will also be live, so if you want to hang out with us more, definitely feel free to hop on. So Parsh says, where you're from? I'm from United States. If I had to guess, I think you're from India. If I had to guess, if I had to take a calculated guess. We do have a good amount of people from India in the chat, so I appreciate all the Indian arm wrestling fans, uh, hanging out and having a good time with us. Parsh says, I like United States. Oh, very nice. Yeah, it's a nice place. Matt says, you have a lot of Indian fans, man. Yeah, definitely true. Definitely true. Maybe it's, I wonder why. Maybe because I do these lives in the morning. Maybe it's like peak time over in India, maybe. But yeah, they're fun. So I don't know how to say those two names. Kay says I don't know how to say those, but two names. Said we'll put Levon into mud. They are giants of 8 feet who wrestled with Godzilla 5,000 years ago. Well, I didn't know Godzilla was that old. See, I watched the only really Godzilla movie I watched was the probably the one people hate the most from the 90s with the guy from Ferris Bueller's Day Off was in it. And I think that Godzilla was just a big iguana, radioactive iguana, I think. But they might have a chance. I would definitely watch that match, Godzilla versus Levon. Could be interesting. Could be very interesting. So Mad says that's not true. I don't remember what we were talking about. We're talking about Godzilla. Was that the last thing we said? But I knew that was gonna. If that was the Godzilla thing, I knew that was gonna get somebody. Don't mess with people's comic book stuff. Matt says, "Yep." Kay says he's talking about. I don't know how to. Hanu Man. Is that how you say it? Matt says the Godzilla one. I like to picture Godzilla as a radioactive iguana. Makes more sense to me. So Cousins, what's up, Cousins? Says T-Rex. And then Josh says, how the hell did we get on Godzilla? Question mark. I told you I have a little bit of a problem. I get sidetracked. So so I'm relying on you guys to ask arm wrestling questions, powerlifting questions. I try my best, but we do get a little sidetracked. That's funny. Kay says, Stone Bro, have you heard of the Great Khali from the WWE? I have. When I used to watch wrestling as a kid, and he was one of the wrestlers at the time. But yeah, man, he's got to be one of the biggest Indian dudes at the time. Babo says, yo. Josh says, I hate all of this. I'm going to ban myself. Well, if you do it, maybe do it for like a little less than 86,000 seconds. Maybe try the minimum, because you might change your mind. All right, we got a lot of people from India. Very nice. But today's practice should be interesting. Yesterday's recovery workouts were pretty interesting. The first one in the morning, I felt pretty good. Not super tender, not super sore. The second one was very, very unique. That's when all the soreness really kicked in. But I did feel better after the recovery workout, which is the plan. But today's training is going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. Josh says India is huge in arm wrestling now. Yeah, definitely true. I mean, even ever since I started my YouTube channel, I remember looking once in a while on like the studios thing that tells you like what countries people watch your video, and I think India was always it was like 10 to 15% of people watching my videos are people from India. So they're definitely growing over there. I would like to see some big super heavyweights come out of there. They gotta have them. They gotta have big super heavyweights. I mean, it's a big country with lots of people, so they gotta have some pretty big guys. Just gotta get them into arm wrestling. Let's see. So, okay, he's talking about Thanos to beat Levon or Dr. Doom. I don't think those superheroes have a chance against Levon. Especially out of the comic books. But that would be interesting. Josh says Pro Panja League blowing up. Yeah, it definitely is. Do they have like a face athlete, like a couple athletes that are the face of the promotion, or no, or not yet? What's up, Lucky? Thanks for joining us. If you got any arm wrestling questions or topics, feel free to let us know. Okay, I'm not sure who that guy is. Well, it's cold enough outside to I left this energy drink outside, and we're about halfway through, and the bottom half is a slushy, so it's cold enough to turn your drink into a slushy out. I didn't think it was that cold, but it's cold enough to turn your drink into a slushy. So let's see. Josh says, I believe they do, but Pradeep would probably know best. Yeah, probably. Probably. I'm sure he's on top of, you know, all the news, arm wrestle news, and stuff like that. So Lucky says, favorite East versus West 20 match. I mean, it's probably everyone's same as Yoshi's match. I forgot his opponent's name, but probably Yoshi's match. That was was a nice, was a very entertaining match. After the event, that was my favorite match. But before the event, I was really looking forward to Jerry and Vitali. But I would think that Yoshi match would be match of the night. In terms of the biggest battle and most entertaining for the fans. So Matt says, who, according to you, is the greatest arm wrestler? So that's a tricky question. I think you have to break it down in a couple areas. Like who is the most dominant in their career? I would think obviously would be John Brzenk. What was it? 40 years or something crazy like that at the very top of the the arm wrestling sport itself. But in terms of best arm wrestler in their peak, I would give it to Levon. You know what I mean? So I would say strongest at one time would be Levon, but most dominant over their career, I would say John Brzenk. Because what John did is probably the odds are it's probably not going to happen for a long time. Especially now with the super heavyweights. It just got so crazy in a good way. In my opinion. So much more horsepower and you know people are, let's see, the knowledge is different. People can learn from people in the past and get better. So every generation will get better and better. But I still think what John did, it might not be done. Could be for any sport too. But that's definitely that's interesting. All right, take it easy, Kay. We'll see you next time. Lucky says agreed. Yeah, I would think most people would agree with that. I think you were talking about the East versus West from the last question, the Yoshi match. Yeah. Lucky says Petro is who he pulled. Oh, okay. I always have a hard time with the European names. Um, Names in general, but especially the European names. How long was the whole entire event? Does anyone know how long from start to finish, match one to match, the last match, how long it was? Lucky says Sergey and Mask was my personal match of the night. Love a good revenge. Yeah, that was a good match too. Um, Matt looked really good. He looked on. Yeah, nice payback is always nice, especially when you're a fan of the guy getting the payback. So Lucky says over 5 hours with breaks and such. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. What was there? How many matches was there? It was over 10, wasn't it? But yeah, I don't think that's too bad, time wise. So a Yush. I'm not sure what that is, but I appreciate the comment. Lucky says 12 matches. So that's not bad. 12 matches, that's not bad. 12 matches, 5 hours, that's not too bad. I didn't see the ladies match. How was the ladies match? I don't think it was I forgot the two smaller ladies, but then Gabby and Barbora had a left hand match. I didn't see those matches. How did the ladies do? Let's see. Oh, message retracted. I was just reading it, but not fast enough. Lucky says Shiz and Barbora won. Which one was Shiz? Was she the blonde or the brunette hair one? I can't. I'm terrible with names. Um, but Barbora won. I mean, yeah, kind of. I was kind of, if you go with, with your brain, I was kind of going for Barbora. But if it was going more with the heart, I was going more Gabby. You know. So Ducati says, "What's up? What's up, man?" So Matt says, "What do you say on Vivian arm wrestling? If you've seen Jack Reacher season 3, you might know." Um, I'm not sure. I haven't seen that show. And is that a different style of arm wrestling, or is that just a club? Oh, looks like we got someone from Brazil. All right. So Lucky says Barbaro looked more dominant than Levon on the table against the current world champion. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I've said it before, but I'm sure lots of people are saying this, but I think the gap between in the women's, heavyweight, the gap between first and second is going to be even bigger than the men's. I also think it's going to be even harder to get a match for Barbora you know, because I feel the only person right now that can pull her is Gabby, you know. Maybe I'm wrong, you know. I'm sure there's other ladies out there, but right now I think the closest one would be Gabby. And I think after Gabby, I think there's another big gap after Gabby, um, from 2 to 3, you know. But that's interesting. Oh, any other? We need some more translators. It's too bad. It's too bad my buddy Will wasn't here, because that's his first. That's his first language, and he'd probably translate it. Hopefully, without setting me up too bad. So Lucky says, unless we get strong women like the men, there is no one else. I mean, there's tons of strong ladies out there, but Barbora is, I mean, she's got, you know, she's got a lot of things going for her. You know, she's got the size and with weight, she got the size with height. Um, you know, she looks like a pretty good athlete, and she's only gonna get better. You know what I mean? Um, I don't think she's that old either. I think she's pretty young. Um, yeah, but I don't know if you know. I don't know if they're doing the WWE thing on her, but they said she's like 6'5". I don't know if they add some inches, to, you know what I mean, to make her look bigger for the, you know, the fans. But I remember seeing like 6'5", 280 pounds. Josh says Brazilian Portuguese slang. I appreciate that translation. That's probably why all the people have like all the North American and the European arm wrestlers are fighting, is because the translators are probably they're probably you know, pulling a fast one on them. They're pretending to translate, but they have no idea, so they just say some stuff. But that's funny. So Dog says, do you have any advice for Indians? I don't know, man. What are you looking? I'd say maybe arm wrestle. I'd say if you find a team, start training, and do a tournament. Arm wrestling. Josh says, throw us thumbs up. Definitely true. Put some thumbs in there. I definitely appreciate those thumbs up. And it's probably good for YouTube. Chad says, yo, what's up, Chad? You must like arm wrestling if you popped up on this channel, because this is an arm wrestling channel, talking about arm wrestling stuff, whole bunch of good stuff. Just checking the time. Yeah, it's gonna be good. I'll probably do a so before practice, probably around, depending on, I gotta double check, see if people are showing up early, but probably around, you know, 4 p.m. today, I'm gonna do another pre arm wrestling video. So if anyone in the chat wants to, you know, hop on the live, we could, you know, we could do that YouTube live share thing. So if anyone in the chat wants to hop on, talk about arm wrestling stuff, shoot me a message on Facebook or Instagram. They're in the description. If you got my number, just shoot me a text. But probably around 4 p.m. If anyone wants to hop on, we'll do the joined live thing. The guest thing, the guest. So chat says Devin versus Dennis. I think he means Dennis. Who will win? Your opinion, Devin. If it's right now, Devin. I think he's too big, too strong. I mean, Dennis is not. He's definitely not a weak guy, but I just think Devin is too strong right now. So Dog says, what if a 100 Indians show up to an arm wrestling tournament? ? I think that's great. I would think that, if next tournament we have, if you want to bring 100 friends, definitely bring them. And the Josh says, I would hope they signed up both arms. That's definitely, that's a rule. You got to do left and right, and maybe even jump up a weight class, You do multiple classes as long as you're not going down. But yeah, that's what I would say. If you got 100 friends, man, bring them on over to the States. We'll give them a little discount, for traveling all that way. I did see that comment. That was funny. Josh is cracking down, though. I would not have read that comment, though, but it was funny. But be careful. Who was it that wrote that? Dog? Be careful, Dog. I don't know if you got the warning before, but Josh is troll hunting very, very hard. His troll hunting season is 365 days a year. And even on skip year, whatever that, leap year, whatever that's called, he still troll hunts. Well, I appreciate that comment. That's nice of you. Dog says, JK, man, have a nice day. I appreciate that. Thanks for hanging out with us. Jess says, Minotaur squatting. Very true. Sometimes you got to do the old Minotaur squat when nature calls. Lucky says, Josh is the man. And she also says, quotations, skip year. Yeah, you could put that on a shirt if you want. I got lots of quotes that are shirt worthy. But you knew what I meant. Skip year, leap year, whatever the heck it's called. You knew what I meant. That's funny. Let me check the battery. The battery should be pretty good. Oh, I can't see it on this side. We should be at least 50%. So it should be good. So let's call this guy Near. Says, hello, sir. Oh, that's nice of you. Thanks for hopping on and joining. We're having a good time. Lucky says we should change the name to Skip Year. I'm all for it. I'm game. Just make sure I get the credit when when people ask who came up with this great idea. Just make sure tell them it was Nick's idea. Saran says, what are you drinking? I'm drinking a little pre-workout, because once we finish it, we're gonna do a recovery lift I'm going to close this live down, open another one up in the gym. So Near says, "Sir, where are you from?" I am from the United States of America. And if I had to guess, I think you're from India too. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Josh says, chat's popping off. Definitely true. It's happening. These some reason, I don't know, there's got to be something to it, but some reason these morning lives get a lot more views than my evening lives, which is interesting, you know, because you would think it would be the other way around. Near says, "Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm getting good. I'm getting good at guessing where people are from by how they kind of type and speak. You know. Plus, when in doubt, just say India, because we got a lot of Indian fans that like arm wrestling, so it's a safe bet." So Near says, "Do you love India?" I'm not sure, man. I've never been to India. Um, but I'm sure it's cool over there. I'm sure there's lots of cool stuff over there. Oh, I appreciate that. Okay, that's nice of you. Um, let's see. How long have we been on the live for? I can't see with my phone's a little busted. I can see that we got 7 thumbs up, so I appreciate that, guys. The only thing I can't see right now is I can't see how many people are currently on the chat and what the time is. Kay and Josh both say 1 hour. Okay, cool. Um, oh, I know we talked about the membership before, but I think another thing I forgot to say that is also a really big perk of being a member is if you are a current member to Stone TV, you have a 5% discount on all Team Stone merchandise in the future Stone TV merchandise, but as well, you get a 5% discount on Team Stone training as long as you are a current member to Stone TV. You can use that as long as you're a member. You can use that every single day if you wanted to. You can use it multiple times a day. You know, but as long as you're a member, you'll get that 5% discount. So keep that in mind. Like if you guys want to buy a shirt or something, you know, uh, and you're thinking about, doing a membership, maybe, definitely keep that 5% discount in mind. Josh says, "Bro, the video I just dropped, I got 3 more subs." That's what I'm talking about. That being said, thanks for the reminder, Josh. There's a great video by Josh, by that camera guy, 98, aka Josh. But check out his channel. There's a great video he edited up, made it real nice. Sunday's practice at Sean Latimer's place was absolutely brutal training. It was like I think it was like 2.5, maybe even 3 hours of just non-stop slamming, arm wrestling, you know. Josh, can you put the link in the link to that video in the channel, or is that, or only the link to your YouTube? Because if you could put the link to that video, definitely put that in the comments. You know, I'm sure a lot of people in here would like to see that video. Very, very professionally done, you know. And there it is right there. Josh put the link in there. I think that is for the video itself, Josh's channel, but I think that will bring you right to the video itself. So definitely check that out. Let's see. I can't see, but how many people we have in the chat right now? We got more than 7. We got 7 thumbs up. We got more than 7. Let's see. Let's call this guy EP. EP says hi. What's up, EP? If you like arm wrestling. So, I don't know if I was able to see all the comments and stuff. My phone said live. I just closed it down and opened it. Maybe this brought us back. Can you guys hear me and see me now, or does it still say not live? Josh says we are back. Yeah, the weird thing is on my phone it said live. It didn't say anything dropped. I could see all your comments. You know, like I saw the comment about how EP says I'm gonna roll Chance. I'm definitely gonna roll the hell out of him. I saw the comment about the Hawaiian shirt. I saw Josh's comment about, you know, saying Nick is a monster. I appreciate that. But at first I thought you guys were talking about the East versus West live feed, and then I slowly realized you guys can't see me or hear me. But I'm glad we're back. I don't know what happened. All I did was just, you know, I closed down the YouTube and just opened it back up, and we're golden. But I'm probably gonna hop off pretty soon. So if you guys have any final questions, let me know. But yeah, Sunday's practice was very, very, very brutal. I mean, I'm sore. My whole entire elbow's sore. The brachialis is sore, but even my tricep tendon is sore. You know, I was doing some pressing, you know, stuff like that, some weird bone pressing. But it's good. It's good. Josh says phone got intimidated. I mean, this phone has been through a lot, you know what I mean? So it exploded, you know, a whole bunch of stuff, and it's still kicking. I think it's going to take a lot for this phone to get intimidated. But that does make sense in its own way. But yeah, it's good. It's good. But let's see. I'm gonna hop off pretty soon. Josh said, did you set up that tablet yet? Not yet, not yet. I tried messing around with the phone. Um, but I didn't put the SIM card in. I think I might have an extra SIM card somewhere. I just gotta find it. You know, but yeah, I'm gonna mess around with that today after recovery lift. I'm probably gonna mess around with that for a little bit. I gotta double check the schedule, but I'm pretty sure I got time after the recovery lift, so I'm gonna mess around with that. I want to mess around with the cage, the camera cage setup that you gave me, um, with the microphone and the light. I want to set that up for today's training, the practice. I don't know about the microphone. I'm gonna try the microphone, but the plug thing is worn out, so it's very touchy. But the light, I'm definitely gonna add the light because I know that will work. I just gotta charge that up. So EP says, nice, we back, bro. Gonna crush chance, definitely true. And then EP says, just subbed, brother. Thank you very much, man. I did. There was a weird thing going on. Even though my phone didn't say we dropped, I was still live. I still saw all those comments. So I appreciate. Almost dropped the phone. I appreciate you. You know, with those nice words. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you subscribing. It definitely helps out. It definitely helps out. So I appreciate that. But we are gonna hop off soon. I've been using my I don't know if you saw it before, but half of this energy drink pre-workout thing was frozen, turned into a slushy. So I was using my hand to melt the slushy. So I'm not a big slushy guy, but now we're pretty much back to liquids. We only got a little bit left, so we're gonna, once I finish this, I'm gonna set up the recovery lift live. The recovery lift is going to be on the regular video, but tonight's table time is going to be on the members only video. So if you guys want to see how I train with the heavy weights, all my intense training, my table time, that's going to be videos only the members are going to be able to see. Definitely recommend checking that out. But let's see what else. Gonna hop off pretty soon. Any final discussions? Any final topics? EP, where you from? You from the United States? You from overseas? Excuse me. What you sound like you're been an arm wrestling fan for a while. That's what it sounds like. So Chad says that's an interesting question. Average gymnast versus average calisthenics in arm wrestling. So if you're talking about, I'm gonna just say male gymnast versus versus male calisthenics in arm wrestling. I mean, I would give it. I mean, both those guys are gonna have very strong because there's a lot of tendon involved with those. But I would actually give it to the gymnast because of the what's that? The rings. They do the rings with the iron cross. I'd say I'd probably give it to the gymnast. And if you don't know, I know a gymnast that was a very successful arm wrestler, Norm Devio, legend of the sport. He's been breaking wrists for 40 years. He was a gymnast before an arm wrestler. So that iron cross, tremendous bicep strength. But if you look at any elite male gymnast, they're all going to have extreme bicep development, elbow flexor development. So I'd give it to the gymnast. That's a very interesting question, Chad. I appreciate that. That was lots of factors. I'm just going off of, certain exercises, movements. Let's see. Chad says, ever heard of some Northeast Indian arm wrestlers? I'm not super sure. I've only heard of a few. I know Indian arm wrestling is definitely blowing up, getting more popular. But I'm not familiar with many Indian arm wrestlers. The only one I can really think of is that one guy that faced Coach Ray years ago at the King of the Table. Other than that, I can't really think of any big Indian arm wrestlers. I know there's a lot of them. I know they're growing, but yeah, I don't know any of them by name. And even if I did, I'm terrible with names, so I may not even be able to pronounce them. But let's see. What's up, Wolfie? Thanks for joining. We're just about to hop off pretty soon, but if you got any final questions, let me know. Definitely, this was a pretty fun one. It was a pretty fun live. So if you want to, go back and watch it from the beginning, it was a pretty fun live. We had some good arm wrestling questions. We got a little sidetracked with like Godzilla talk for a little bit, but we got right back to arm wrestling. More, pretty quickly. Josh kicked out a couple people. He doesn't even feel bad about it. Wolfie says, I always join when you are almost done. Yes, that happens, it happens. But, the best thing about that is the video's still up, so you can still watch it if you want to go and watch it from the beginning. That'd be greatly appreciated. So Chad says, who is the most underrated arm wrestler according to you? Underrated arm wrestler, Ron Bath. That's my first thought. Ron Bath. I mean, he's not, like when I say, I feel like he should get more credit. He gets a lot of credit. He gets, he's a legend of the sport, but I think he should be more well known. Because I like to say this. I heard this from someone years ago, and it made me think. I can't remember who said it, but I heard this from another arm wrestler. They said if John Brzenk didn't exist, it would be Ron Bath. Ron Bath would be the John Brzenk. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. I'm not saying that Ron Bath is definitely not known, but I think he should be more known than he is, you know. Parse, it's hi bro, what's up, man? We're just about to hop off. I got some messages I gotta check. A couple phone calls I missed. Patrick, I do not know what that is. Italian. I know what Italian is, but I don't know what that word you put in quotations is. But I appreciate the comment. I'm not sure what that is, Patrick, and I'm not going to try to read it in case it's something YouTube doesn't like. They might ban me or whatever it's called, kick you off or whatever. But maybe it's something nice, but maybe it's not. I wonder. Let's see. But, all right, guys. Oh, one more comment. All right, not something you're going to have fear, brother. Aha. You got to be a little careful sometimes. You know, got to be a little careful sometimes. But, guys, I'm going to hop off. I'm going to get ready for the lift, the recovery lift. If you guys want to join us for some more fun, check, keep your eyes and ears open for the next live. We'll probably be on in about 30 minutes, probably 30 minutes to 45 minutes. We'll have the next live up. Just got to make some texts and some phone calls first. But thank you very much, guys. I hope you had fun, and we'll see you next time.